Guys, welcome back to Signature HQ, and well, wanted to bring you in here today because, well, we got a new car. This is a new one for our fleet, so this one is actually going to go down to our Victorian dealership, and we've ended up with a Ford Ranger, the XLT Ford Ranger. We've gone with the V6 10-speed gearbox. It's got the built-in brake controller. The technology for the towing is just absolutely next level, and we're going to use this video to actually show you the bare bones basics of what we do to set up a perfect tow vehicle. This isn't an Instagram $100,000 build. This is the bare bones of what you need to get your car perfect for towing expeditions. And there's 5 things that we'll cover off in this video so that you can basically, when you get your new car, or if you've got a current car, you know what you need to tick off to make sure that it's perfect for your next towing adventures. So one of the beauties about our head office down in Sydney is that we can actually do this full fit out for you. So if you're in the New South Wales region, or even if you just want to bring your car down to us, we can actually do this full fit out. So it'll perfectly match your brand new camper trailer. We can cover the mirrors, we can cover your brake controller, we can do your electrical system. We can also look at doing your suspension system. So if you have a new car and you want to make sure that your car is perfectly matched to your new camper trailer, let us know and we can do a build just for you in our Sydney factory. So what are the 5 things that we will tick off on every brand new build that we do for a signature car? Well, first of all, we do suspension system, and I'll go into that in a moment, but Tough Dog have organised that full setup for us. We do towing mirrors. Towing mirrors, there's a few things to know about. There's some legality sides of it, there's some practical sides of it, so we'll touch through that as well. There's your brake controller. Some cars like the Ranger actually have the system built into it from factory, but otherwise the Red Arc Tow Pro, the Elect Brake, there's a couple of different options on the market that'll work just as well and are perfectly matched to your car. In every car that we've got in our fleet, we set up a UHF. So we've got a GME UHF built into this trailer. And finally, probably one of the most important factors these days, especially with brand new camper builds, is your Anderson plug connection. And that's the power from your car down to your new Caravan. And you've got to make sure that one's wired right because, well, we're running some of the biggest power systems currently on offer in Australia. So we make sure that's all done. Absolutely schmick. So first up, starting underneath it, we do suspension systems in all of our cars. In this car, we've actually got a 0 to 300 constant load. We haven't got anything too heavy in the back of it, but we're going to be putting heavy loads on in terms of our towable weight for our caravans and camper trailers. So Tough Dog have organised the suspension setup in this. We've done a 40mm lift, and overall, the reason that we do a suspension setup in these is when you're using the car for more of a commercial purposes or as a dedicated tow vehicle, you want to make sure that you've got absolute proper control of basically the car and the camper trailer. By sorting out the suspension system in the car, it basically means we can put springs that are rated for how you set your car up for touring so that the car and the camper are going to sit perfectly level. If you have a car and a camper where they're not level and the back of the car's either dipping down or even it's too highly sprung, then basically you're not going to have good control of the car, you're not going to have good control of the camper trailer, and it's going to be a horrendous thing to drive and to tow. So by having those springs matching that system, not only does it make the car look better because everything's nice and level, but it is just so much safer overall for your long distance touring. And now this thing is going to be so much safer and a much more comfortable ride overall when we're towing all around the country. One of the things we also do with our cars is we actually fit UHF radios into them. We do that for communication. So often we're actually traveling in a convoy, we've got a couple of cars all in a row, and we can use the UHFs for communicating between each other. The other area where a UHF comes into its own is basically if you're going to be doing any outback touring. So UHF, they've been around forever, but there's a reason we use them, and there's a reason most cars, especially in the country, are fitted with them because communication is absolutely key when you're touring. So in this setup behind me, we've got the brand new compacts from Clearview. So Clearview, we can actually provide all of this stock to you now. We can get the whole Clearview range and help you set up your car. Towing mirrors, when do you need towing mirrors? So basically the legalities around towing mirrors are that you need to have a clear, unobstructed view all the way from your car, all the way down the side of the Caravan. So by fitting the towing mirrors to the car, and in this case, Clearview tell me we've gone with the burger with the lots with these ones, but they're the new Clearview compact towing mirrors. When we're not using them, they can be slid in and nice and close to the car, but then when we need to use them, we can pull them out to a few different settings to give us that clear, unobstructed view all the way down the side of the Caravan. These ones particularly, why they're so good, well, we've retained all of the functionality that we would normally expect within the car, but Clearview have actually built them into the mirror. So we've still got all of our camera functionality, we've still got all of our lights, we've got indicators, we've got everything that you would expect in a factory mirror, but now they're just an absolutely, awesome towing mirror, and they're going to do the trick for all of our team when we're out touring. So one of the other things that you've got to tick off, and this is a basic for anybody that's looking at towing a caravan or camper trailer, is your brake controller. There's a few different brake controllers on the market that you can go to. There are the plug and play systems from companies such as Elecbrake, where we can actually provide that system to you and we can install that system onto your camper trailer so you don't need to do anything with the car, and the system will work either through a remote or from your phone. Then you've got systems that we can install into the cars like the Red Arc Tow Pro Elite. They're a great system, really, really safe. Basically, it's a set and forget system. It's all built into the trailer, and you've got a control knob on the dash that you can control basically how the braking system will operate, and you've got that override in case something goes wrong. In this car, we've actually got the brake controller all built into it. So one of the factors that we actually looked at when we were choosing the Ranger is that the towing technology built into this car is next level. It's got complete trailer checking functions. It's got cameras and settings that we can actually program into the car that are set up for those trailers. We input the weights, we input the lengths, and we've actually got a little bit more control. We've tested a little bit. I can't fault it, but I do know, speaking to Red Arc, that if you're not happy with this brake controller system, they can actually still install a Red Arc Tow Pro Elite, which will override this braking system. Comes down to the individual, but you've got to remember anything over a certain weight capacity, and that's 750 kilos, you need to have, legally, you must have a brake controller within the car and the caravan. Now we're going to talk about probably one of the aspects that's most confusing to people and something that will give you a bit of a head scratcher, and that's how you're powering your caravan from your car. And a lot of the time we talk about an Anderson plug connection. What's an Anderson plug? Basically what we're talking about in that regard is we're talking about a direct connection between your car, so your battery and your alternator, through to the caravan, so that when you get to your next campsite, the batteries are going to be sitting at 100%. But why do you need an Anderson plug, and what's it going to do, and what do you actually need for your setup? So I'm going to talk about what's applicable for a signature caravan. Because we run some of the highest capacity charging systems currently in Australia, and that includes 50 and 100 amp charging systems from Red Arc. We run 48 volt systems from EcoFlow. We have to make sure that the charging capacity in the car and the cabling that's being provided is suitable for the caravan that you're actually going to be towing behind the car. In this car, what we've done for our charging system is we fit a 120 amp Anderson plug. Now, where that's applicable is most people are going, oh, but I've only got a 50 amp Anderson plug, or the standard for a long time has been a 50 amp Anderson plug. The reason that we have gone to a 120 amp Anderson plug is because the wiring size that you need to properly function some of our larger charging systems means that the size of the wiring won't actually fit into a 50 amp Anderson plug. So it's not just about the size of it, it's literally about what wiring is going to fit and is going to work properly for that setup. So for this car, we've run XLPE cabling, which is the highest capacity cabling, through to our 120 amp Anderson plug on the back of the caravan. It's going to be demanding that power from your battery, and because we've got the right size cabling the whole way through from start to finish, it means we're going to be able to provide the charge to get that full capacity of that 50, 75 or 100 amp charging system. And finally, we've done one other extra thing in this trailer that may or may not be suitable or applicable to your specific setup. So we've actually set up a second 50 amp red Anderson plug in this car. The reason that we have done that is because this trailer is going to be towing some of our newer vans that feature the Cruise Master ATX airbag suspension system. Now, what the ATX airbag suspension system has in it is something really, really cool, and that's hydraulic disc brakes. The braking capacity in them is phenomenal. However, as part of that, we need a capacity to be able to operate that hydraulic braking system. When we're matching that system in with the car, we're going to provide power directly from the car to that hydraulic braking system to ensure that it's an uninterrupted power supply so that your brakes never fail. So the way that we've done that is we've run an additional 50 amp Anderson plug from the battery all the way through to the back of the car, and then we've wired the van in to have another red 50 amp Anderson plug on the front of the van, so that you know when you're towing it, you're going to have that constant uninterrupted supply, and your braking system, which is going to work phenomenally, is all connected up and all working. So in this one, we do have 2 Anderson plugs. It really comes down to your specific setup, and our team is going to help you make sure that you've got the right information to set up your car right. And as I said before, if you want us to fit out your Anderson plugs in our Sydney factory, and we're working to have these options available at our other dealerships around Australia, which we may well have by the time you watch this video, then get in touch, because we would rather have the car set up perfectly to match your new signature so that your car is going to do exactly what it needs it to do as you hit the open road. So with those 5 things that we fitted to this particular car, it means that we're absolutely fully equipped to go and hit the trails as we're doing right now by the river, by this beautiful bit of water. Let our team know if you need a hand setting your new car up. We'd be happy to help. But 5 things, get onto those ones so your new car is perfectly set up for your brand new off-road caravan.